Going into Warfare, I remember watching the first trailer, but I don't remember anything from it. So I kind of went into this movie blind. I remember thinking that the movie looked good based on the trailer. I would say war movies are one of the most common genres in terms of we get a lot of similar war movies. Most of them, to really make an impact, they have to be visceral and adding a different spin to it because it's such a popular genre, and you can either make something that is disposable but a fine watch, or you can make something that'll genuinely stick with people. And I have to say, Warfare is the latter. This is one of the most intense war movies I have ever seen. It was such a visceral experience. I was really confused by the first 30 minutes because it's just doing a lot of setup in terms of setting the groundwork for what the following hour will be. You are just plopped into these characters setting up to potentially go into battle. There's a lot of waiting, and that's where I was confused because I was like, what's going to happen? Because of that, it's good. It is putting you on edge because you're waiting for something to happen, and you know that you are right there with these guys, and you know that at any moment they could be attacked. It doesn't follow a basic story structure per se. You're just in this world with these soldiers for 90 minutes. It's a real-time experience, in one where I even was questioning if I was watching real soldiers or actors, and that's a huge plus that I have to give the movie because I'm watching it, and one, I felt like I was there with them, but two, these actors just slipped right in and became soldiers. I felt like I was in the war with them, and because of that, I think that's what made this movie almost a sickening experience for me, because there were times where I was watching it and I was genuinely starting to feel ill. It was such an anxiety-inducing experience. I was just waiting for me to finally catch my breath, and walking out of the theater, I felt relieved. It was such a immersive watch, and I just almost felt claustrophobic. I was just hooked, and it never let me go. It just continuously kept me on edge, and I was never checking the time, and I honestly didn't want it to end because it was just so riveting. But it is a terrifying movie. It's one that I don't know if I can really work myself up to watch again and again because it's hard. It's hard to watch. I will say, if you get queasy watching stuff, and I mean, you feel like if you're a queasy person, you probably stay away from war movies, but especially with this one, it's very bloody and violent, and it shows all of these wounds. It's stuff that I had to turn away for. The performances are all top tier. These are not memorable characters, but it's similar to what I felt with September 5, where it's a movie that is not trying to set up these characters to be memorable, ones that are really going to stick with you. The performances might stick with you, but the characters, there's not much there. They're paper thin. But what really sells you is the fact that they just feel like soldiers to you. These are actors that just completely take on the war trauma that comes with the experience like this. You have Joseph Quinn, who is doing a lot of screaming in the movie, and there are some piercing screams that will just stick with me. Will Poulter, who is supposed to be a leader to his fellow soldiers, and he quickly starts to become so trapped in his own fear. Just everyone across the board, they just sell you on the experience. But maybe the MVP of the movie is the sound. I mean, sound design here is impeccable. It's impeccably crafted, and I felt like that was another reason why I just felt like I was there. I mean, I saw it in a theater, and the theater sounded awesome. You can hear distant talking and gunshots. You hear every bullet drop, and it feels like you're literally shooting a gun yourself. All of these little things that go into the big picture to make you forget that you're watching a movie. You're, again, just in this real-time experience. It is 90 minutes, and you feel like there's no way out. It's disorienting. The movie puts you literally in the headspace of these soldiers after an explosion goes off and their ears ringing, them finally starting to hear their heartbeat again, them hearing a distant scream. But one of the most important things, and I think that from the general consensus online, from what I got, was that a lot of people were worried that the movie would glorify the war based on the trailer. It doesn't though. It shows you the horrors of the experience and how you don't really know if you're going to make it home, if you're going to make it alive, if you're going to make it completely okay, your whole body. And another interesting thing that it doesn't completely like put at the forefront, but it's still there, the impact that it had on the Iraq people. The movie is set in a house where an Iraqi family is being held captive by these soldiers. Without getting into spoilers, them seeing the aftermath of it, like the camera just leaves you with them, and that really strikes a chord with you. And them just yelling at the soldiers, screaming why. Those are important things that might get glossed over in a war movie that just wants to shine on the war hero that it's focusing on, or whatever it may be. But that's not the case with Warfare. It makes an effort to actually show you each perspective. In the action, it's visceral, it's a raw movie. All of that leads into why I think it's one of the most intense war movies I've ever seen that I can really remember, honestly. The biggest thing going against the movie, I will say, is that, like I said, the characters are paper thin. Do not go into this movie for in-depth writing. If you go in expecting that, you're going to be disappointed because there's not much to offer there. Like I said, it's not your typical story. It's not following a basic story structure. You're just right there with these soldiers. The first 30 minutes had me intrigued to see where it was going, and I'm so glad that it just never let up. It continuously had me on edge. This was immersive and terrifying. Two of the most positive things I think you can say about a war movie. I'm gonna give Warfare a B+, and I implore you to see this in a theater. I think that is the optimal viewing experience for this movie. If you can stomach it, this is a must-see, in my opinion. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Be sure to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. And as always, look forward to more content coming soon. My name is Ben. People call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.